Alrighty guys, so as we all know, I am currently going for all of the Call of Duty Platinums. However, after getting the Platinum Trophy for Call of Duty World at War, Modern Warfare Remastered and Modern Warfare 2, I decided that I needed a little bit of a break and was looking for something nice and short to play. And so in today's video, we are going for the Platinum Trophy in Crysis Remastered. Now, Crysis originally released in 2007, and the game was notoriously known for destroying heaps of people's computers and melting their CPUs. In 2021, a remastered version of the three Crysis games was released to PlayStation 4, and we are going to see if the PlayStation 5 can actually run this game and won't blow up.
Yeah, well, they saw me. Dude, game's like frozen. Uh-oh. Right.
Now, I do want to start this out by saying that the game did only crash once, however it did feel extremely old. A good comparison is Far Cry 3, however much worse. The remaster did significantly improve on the graphics, however it did not tidy up any of the gameplay, and if you're someone who doesn't like going back to old school controls, you're probably going to hate this game. We have a total of 41 trophies to collect in order to get the Platinum Trophy, and it is rated at a 3 out of 10 for difficulty, will require one playthrough and take approximately 10 hours to complete. As far as Platinum Trophies goes, this is pretty straightforward and all you need to do is finish the game. There are no collectibles or multiplayer trophies that you need to worry about. The only thing you need to do if you want to get this done in one playthrough is you need to complete the game on Delta difficulty. This is so you can get the Cool in a Crysis trophy, but also so you can get the Delta's Act 1, 2, and 3 trophies for completing each act on Delta difficulty. Now, I did stream this entire Platinum over on Twitch, and if you are interested in watching me go for more Platinums, please head on over and follow the Twitch. So the story for Crysis kicks off in 2020 where a group of US soldiers in high-tech nanosuits known as the Raptor Team are sent to a remote island near the Philippines. Their mission is to rescue a group of American archaeologists that have been taken hostage by North Korean forces. We play as Nomad, and as we jump out of the plane and then deploy our parachute, something weird happens and then our parachute is gone.
Starting literally this day, first mission. Tomb Raider Legend is really easy to get. I have no idea about any of the Tomb Raider games. I have not played anywhere enough.
Now, because we're wearing a special type of nanosuit, even though it is malfunctioning, when we land in the water we survive the fall, and then here we are introduced to the basics of the game. Our first objective is pretty straightforward, and we just have to rendezvous with the group that we lost when we first parachuted down. Now, I couldn't believe that I managed to pop a trophy within the first 2 minutes of the game, but as you land on the beach and there is this turtle here, it's a great opportunity to earn the zoology trophy for picking up an animal.
Ah, zoology.
After learning all of the basics, I then rendezvous with Jester, and then we find out that the rest of the group has also become separated from each other. As we try to find Aztec and a couple of other members of the group, we hear a harrowing message over the radio and then find the group slaughtered.
Going on. Jesus. That's our boy. Got ripped to pieces. That's good, man. Nice to meet another fella.
Now we need to continue on to the landing zone that was the original rendezvous point, and here we get to use the binoculars and are introduced to a few other aspects of the game, including side quests. There are a total of 9 main missions in Crysis, and in these 9 missions you have a total of 10 side quests to complete. These side quests pop up on the map as yellow markers, and you need to complete them in order to get 3 trophies. The first trophy is Following Order, which is for completing 3 secondary objectives, Without Question for completing 6 secondary objectives, and then Perfect Soldier for completing all secondary objectives. Now, these side quests are actually all very worth doing, as they certainly help make your gameplay significantly easier and can allow your teammates to actually help you kill enemies. So after completing a couple of side quests and progressing on, we then finally arrive at the rendezvous point, and here we find a ship completely frozen in the middle of the tropics.
Holy crap. A little trouble parking.
Topographic map. There's an area highlighted.
Prophet believes that the map we found in the cargo ship is the location of the excavation site that the archaeologists were working on. So our plan is to get to the excavation site, however everything seems a little bit weird and sus.
And that's in order. Something's here.
Oh my god, what is that thing?
So each act is comprised of 3 missions, and after finding the ship we completed the very first mission in Act 1. Now the second part of Act 1 is us getting towards the excavation site and then trying to piece together exactly what is happening on this island. Now the first hour or 2 of this game is pretty tricky in the sense that the controls absolutely suck and the game just feels so weird when you play this first mission. I found myself getting pretty frustrated with the mechanics and just in general how the game felt, and I was actually regretting my decision to go for this platinum trophy at this point.
Bro, what? How is bro not dead? What?
The stealth and shield mechanics that you get access to just felt really weird, and honestly the game just didn't flow very naturally, but we completed this next side quest and popped our next trophy.
Following orders, complete 3 secondary objectives. Okay, cool.
So the intel from the side quest told us that one of the archaeologists was being held hostage at this camp. Now I tried to use the stealth mechanics to get into the camp and just avoid fighting everyone, as I found the gunplay a little bit tricky, but I wasn't very successful.
Bro! Wow, okay. Wow, okay. So I can't get in that way?
So I decided that the only choice I had was to go in guns blazing and hope that I didn't die.
Okay.
And so I then
Alright, I think
successfully
we're in.
killed all the enemies at the compound, and then we rushed into the door and located one of the archaeologists.
Brother, we've located one of the archaeologists.
Easy, darling.
The archaeologist then lets us know that Dr. Rosenthal has found potentially a new life form at the excavation site, however she believes that everyone needs to be evacuated off the island. We don't get too much more information from the archaeologist as we are interrupted by enemy forces storming the compound, and after fighting them off we then catch up with Prophet to then find Dr. Rosenthal and complete mission 2 of Act 1.
It's going okay. You knew, didn't you?
After regrouping with Prophet, he lets us know that the CIA has actually been tracking Dr. Rosenthal and they believe that there is something artificial happening here. Prophet gives us the location of the excavation site and then our job is to find Dr. Rosenthal. However, as we're about to leave, the alien appears and takes Prophet with him.
Bro.
Now this mission felt a little bit like Death Stranding and was an absolute running simulator, and we just made our way to the excavation site and popped our next trophy for speed sprinting 3 kilometers.
Marathon man.
General Kyong, listen to me. I'm picking up some very strange readings. We need to know what we're dealing
Very
with.
strange readings.
As we sneak into the excavation site, we get to see firsthand the fossil of the alien artifact. Dr. Rosenthal is talking to General Kyong, who is the leader of the Korean army currently occupying the island. General Kyong wants to use these artifacts as weapons, however Dr. Rosenthal is hesitant as he is not sure what it is capable of. General Kyong has Dr. Rosenthal's daughter held captive, however he realizes that these artifacts are actually alive aliens. The artifact then comes to life and freezes everything in the vicinity, killing Dr. Rosenthal and the soldiers inside, however the nanosuit keeps Nomad alive.
Dad, we're picking up a microwave burst transmission from your area. What did you do?
Get out of there now! What the? Who are you? U.S. Special Forces. We need to get out of here.
Wake up.
What have I done?
Hopefully it's just gonna be like a run, man. We can just run.
this whole place into an ice cube. They found another relic up in the mountains, a bigger one.
The Korean army is then sending reinforcements to the evacuation site, and Nomad needs to escape in order to get to his VTOL escort so he can get to the mountain to save Dr. Rosenthal's daughter. And so after successfully fleeing from the reinforcements, the VTOL touches down and we escape, completing the final mission and then Act 1.
Alright, Nomad. Living up to your name, I see.
Living up to your name. Delta Act 1.
All war has broken out, and in order for Nomad to be able to reach the mountain, the VTOL jets need to be able to fly up there. However, the Korean army has set up several AA guns around the island, and the US army cannot get their VTOLs up there. So we have to then clear out all of the Korean army and destroy their AA guns in the first part here of Act 2. Now here is where I felt like the game was really starting to take a step in the right direction and was just playing a little bit smoother. Now I'm not sure if it's because I was getting to around 3 to 4 hours in and I'd probably got a bit of an idea on how the controls and the game worked, but I started actually having a fair bit of fun from this point onwards.
The hell, how did he get on the car, bro?
And so after neutralising the AA guns, we then had to take control of an ammunition dump here in the shipyard. And here is where I popped my next trophy for killing 200 total enemies.
Oh, special forces.
We then took control of the harbour and destroyed the very last AA gun here and blew up the ship, which popped us 2 trophies and finished the first part of our mission.
Pro aircraft.
Are inbound with tanks.
Enjoy the fireworks.
KPA air units till we can get.
So with the AA guns now gone, the US Army deploys tanks, and in the next mission we get to take control of one, and here is where the trophies start to really roll in. Now the main purpose of this tank mission is just to launch an all-out assault against the Korean army, and not much happens except for the fact that we just destroy all of the enemies. Now there are 2 specific trophies that you can only get in this chapter. The first one is Empty Platform, and that is for securing the train station and killing all the enemies that are in and around the area. And the other one is One Careful Owner, which is for reaching the end of this mission in the tank that you started with. Now I actually completed both of these trophies without even thinking about it, so you really shouldn't miss them unless you try to rush through this level as fast as possible.
Tank Buster. Long distance relationship. Without question. Empty platform. Bruh, there's no way that missed. No fly zone. Woohoo. One Careful Owner.
And so, like I said before, not really much happened in this mission, and we completed it and then entered into the mine.
You're on your own.
So our goal for the next mission was to enter the mine and then confront General Kyong. However, before we entered in, we completed a side quest, and this popped our trophy for completing all side quests in the game.
Perfect soldier. Complete all secondary objectives.
The side quest that we completed gave us the exact location of General Kyong, and then we had to travel to the exact mine entrance and popped our next trophy.
Going underground.
So we enter into the mine and find the archaeologists and General Kyong. However, we are then ambushed by enemies in nanosuits who knock us out. General Kyong then charges up the temple and it explodes, recharging our nanosuit, and then we need to fight and destroy him. Now this boss fight with General Kyong was honestly so weird because all you had to do was run behind him, you could unleash an entire clip into him and he wouldn't even react, and I just don't know if this was glitching or not, but it was just really, really easy.
Bro, it's on like General Kyong. Jeez, okay, that was like... That was ridiculously easy.
With General Kyong now defeated, the temple appears to be coming to life and the mine itself is collapsing on Nomad and Helena. The team comes down, however can only save Helena, and then Nomad is stuck inside the mine and needs to find his own way out.
Coming down. We aren't going to be able to get back in there.
Delta Act 2. Okay.
The only way out is through the temple, however Nomad soon discovers that this is not a temple and is in fact an alive alien, and they are breeding an army to take over the world. Nomad then needs to find a way to escape, and as he fights his way through the aliens, we then pop a next few trophies.
Something for every occasion. This is my rifle. I'm coming home.
We make our way to the exit, however it is too late, and then the alien invasion begins.
I can't get too close. Approaching visual range.
There he is. Nomad, we see you. Look out!
What the hell? It's like freezing it.
Damn it, I'm hit! I'm hit!
Jesus, okay.
So with the invasion in full force, our next goal is to try to escape the island with as many survivors as possible. However, we are ambushed by a whole heap of aliens, and then our boy Prophet returns.
Prophet? Let's give the ugly bastards a taste of their own. You with me, son?
In his absence, Prophet has somehow managed to mechanically engineer one of the alien guns, and we can now use it against them to kill them more efficiently.
Yes, expedition team.
With the alien force growing in strength, we have no choice but to leave the island entirely.
What in the name of General Patton is that fucking thing? Get out of here, Vulture. This bastard belongs to me. What about you, Major? I'm a Marine, son. I'll walk on water.
I'm a Marine, son.
Now get off my fucking island while I draw its fire. Bring it on! Hang on! We're over!
So after successfully extracting in the VTOL, we then take over and pilot it off the island. Now this was a mission similar to the tanks in that you go around just shooting things and blowing them up. However, the controls for this VTOL were absolutely terrible, and I found it so difficult to just shoot anything at all.
Those birds off the ground. Over. Copy.
Jeez, it'd be alright if I could fucking hit him. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, this shit is like impossible to fucking hit. Team Raptor, whatever that is. Fuck.
So I struggled my way through the flying mission, but we completed it and successfully arrived back at the ship, and here the General wants to nuke the island in order to kill all of the aliens. Helena and Nomad advise against this as they believe that the nuke will only fuel the aliens and they will use it as a power source in order to become stronger, and sure enough, this is exactly what happens.
Again.
It's expanding.
I think we just made it stronger.
With the aliens now stronger, we then have to make our last stand on the ship and save the Earth from being destroyed.
Weapons master. Perform a kill with every firearm. Cool.
Now the game kind of goes from 0 to 100 extremely quickly here, and we have this boss fight. Now this boss fight is extremely frustrating as the difficulty has been pretty straightforward in this game, but this boss can kill you in one hit if you do not get out of the way of its ore blast. Now this boss has no health bars and there's no indication that you are causing any damage to it, and it is just basically a battle of endurance. And you have to survive against it for around 5 minutes, and let's just say this was pretty frustrating.
No way! No! No fucking way!
Hang on, Nomad.
Dude, what? Dude, what the fuck, man? This is fucking shit. Oh my god, yes. Strickland would be proud. Defeat the flight deck invader. Oh my god. Whew. Okay.
Now I knew there was a tough boss fight at the end of this game based on the guide, and so I thought that I'd basically finish the game at this point, and then another boss came up over the edge of the ship. Now I was pretty lucky in that I found a way to cheese this boss fight, and if you come and stand behind these crates here, the boss can't hit you with any of its explosive damage, and you will pretty much kill it first go and not have to stress about dying.
Okay, the hatch is open.
Close encounter. Oh my god, we did it.
Hurry!
We're not leaving without you. Hold on.
Come on, Psycho, go, go, go!
Oh my god.
And so after successfully flying away from the carrier and watching it sink into the ocean, we then completed Crysis.
Delta Act 3. Crisis control. Cool in a crisis.
Now overall the trophy list for Crysis was actually pretty good, and you can get nearly everything done in your main playthrough without having to go too far out of your way. And so after finishing the campaign I had 5 trophies left, and to be honest these 5 trophies are pretty easy to get in your cleanup, however they're just not really applicable to the campaign as the things that you need to do just don't really help you in any way while you're playing. Now our first trophy is Nano Ninja, and this is for performing 5 consecutive kills in a row without being detected by an enemy, and to be honest the stealth mechanics in this game are pretty poor, so unless you kind of go for this in your playthrough you likely won't get it, but it's pretty easy to get when you need to do your cleanup.
Nano Ninja.
Now my next trophy was Chokehold, and this was for killing 20 enemies with a grab. Again, this mechanic you just don't really get the chance to use in your playthrough, so it's likely that you're going to need to clean this up at the end.
Chokehold.
Now, our next trophy was Keen Observer, and this was for tagging 30 enemies using the binoculars. And again, just like the Chokehold trophy, this is just a mechanic that there's just really no point using in your playthrough, as you can see all of the enemies anyway, and unless you're going for a real stealth playthrough, you're probably never going to use it.
Keen Observer.
And so our second to last trophy was Catch This, which was for killing 10 enemies by throwing an object at them. And again, if you're completing this game in one playthrough on Delta difficulty, you just don't get the opportunity to pick an object up and throw it at an enemy and kill them, purely based on the fact that they will kill you so quickly.
Catch This.
And then finally, our last trophy to get was Knock Off Knockout, and this was for killing an enemy nanosuit soldier with a strength punch. Now, there are only 2 opportunities to get this done in the entire game, so unless you are actively thinking about it, it's highly likely that you're going to miss it, but it's pretty easy to farm. You just have to run up to an enemy nanosuit soldier here in Chapter 6 and punch them to death. Knock Off Knockout, and then Platinum Trophy. Now, the first few hours in Crysis were definitely rough, but I do think that this is a Platinum Trophy worth going for, and if you do enjoy playing some of the older games, I would suggest getting it done. As always guys, if you could please leave a like and comment down below and hit that subscribe button if you haven't, that would be greatly appreciated, and I will see you guys all in the next one.